Simpsons Index, an online spreadsheet that is also a podcast. This is the podcast. Coming out of SideQuest Studios, this is the Simpsons Index, episode 78. Hello there, I'm your host. My name's Elliot Jay O'Neill. Here's some other names. BT Calloway.
If you wear cowboy clothes, does that make you ranch dressing?
Ooh. Do you feel that swooning at home? Do not adjust a dial. Everything is working fine. And Jordan Frost.
That is a name that I answer to.
It sure is. Thank you guys for joining me tonight.
Thank you for having us.
You're welcome.
And this is the Simpsons Index, the podcast where we watch and review 3 episodes of The Simpsons at a time, but the catch is each episode comes from a different decade.
What a twist.
Unlike all those other Simpsons podcasts.
Where they come from a different, century, and it just doesn't work.
I mean, the stories do really get bizarre in season 176.
Don't even joke.
Yeah. Wait, isn't that Don Hertzfeld one? That couch gag where it does go into
oh yeah,
2000 and whatever season, and it's just bizarre.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah.
I can't wait to cover that
That's
episode.
probably not too far from the truth, though.
Yeah.
No, but we didn't cover that one today. No, today we covered Season 22, Episode 15, The Scorpion's Tail. This was written by both Billy Kimball and Ian Maxtone Graham, directed by Matt Schofield, and it was first released in March 2011. In this episode, Lisa discovers a flower that grows in Springfield has the ability to calm animals and, by proxy, people, possibly angry grandpas. And so Homer, because Lisa doesn't really approve of the drug, goes and sets out to have it synthesized with a guy played by Werner Herzog. And they make the drug, but it turns out the drug not only makes the people who take it happier, but it makes their eyes pop out of their sockets. And apparently dulls the feeling of pain associated with that as well. Guys, what did you think?
Mixed feelings.
Yeah.
I was bored, and then I was angry.
Bored and angry?
Yeah.
There was some fine little gags,
Yep.
but overall, not great.
Yeah.
I don't know what to say. It's not as awful as other things we've covered. It's not as funny. It's a bit more interesting. Like, the story is kind of,
True.
I didn't see that happening at all.
I was generally okay with this one until people's eyes popped out. And then I
that's
was
one
disgusted.
That's one of the bits that sold me on this episode.
Really? It's an unexpected twist. I'll give him that.
Yeah.
I don't know. I felt like they handled it somewhat okay. Yeah, it is a bizarre thing, and it's very gross. And
Really makes you wonder how Springfieldians' anatomy works, because they just have dark space behind their eyes and very long ocular cables. So
Yeah, that's not how that works.
No.
No, your eyes are not on a bunch of just coiled
Extra cord, just
elastic.
for shits and giggles.
Yeah.
why do cartoons keep lying to me?
You can't also jump off a cliff onto a trampoline and get back to the top of the cliff either.
Maybe you can't.
No, I will fall straight through it into the earth.
Yeah, I discovered that when I dropped an anvil on my friend's head, and
Poor Timmy.
we don't know Timmy anymore.
Got off on a technicality.
Thank God there's that clause where if you commit a crime as a minor, it gets wiped clean as an adult.
Yeah. I don't know why they give those permissions to people who work underground. It's a strange...
God damn it. Take your minor jokes.
Jordan, you know better.
I don't know. You've known me for how long? You know exactly the kind of shit joke I make. Come on.
So, BT, for better or worse, what's a moment from the story that stood out to you?
Why were they kicking Grandpa out of the retirement home to begin with?
I don't actually mind that as an unexplained thing.
I mind it.
Well, he's always been cantankerous.
He's been cantankerous, but he's always been cantankerous.
Did they get a whole bunch of new staff, maybe, at the thing? Because that was Kevin Michael Richardson's little...
That's sure. Well, I can't do his voice. It's so low.
He's doing a kind of like a Green Mile-esque, yeah. Maybe they got new staff and these ones are just a little bit more sensitive.
Well, Lisa did have the line of, they won't let him escape and now they're kicking him out. What's the deal?
Yeah, what is the deal?
I don't know. I didn't think it hurt the episode.
All right, I'll switch mine to something that really bugs me, which that Lisa finds an all-natural antidepressant that people love, and she doesn't want anyone to have it.
Yeah.
Lisa is a monster.
Yeah, as I was doing the synopsis, I was like, oh, wait, getting from that to that, why does Lisa give a fuck?
Yeah, because he's all like, no, it's not genuine happiness. It's like, he clearly is so much happier, and it's all just made from a plant.
Yeah, you were happy when it was only on Scorpions and it was getting you an A.
Yeah, bitch.
I guess they don't explain it away, but I can. Because she's so meticulous, the fact that it hasn't yet been tested and passed by, the FDA.
You pass it to the FDA to run those tests.
Yeah, exactly. But before that, she's kind of like, look, I'm not comfortable with this, and this is not good. But you're right. I'm just thinking about it. To counter all that, my own argument, she is like, no, you can't give a drug to Grandpa. Like, fuck you. I don't care if he's happy and he wants more and he even knows it's happening to him. It's even before that, though. It's even like, maybe it would work another day. And she's like, don't you dare. Like, and she's like, is there something you want to tell me? It's like, before she even knows that things are happening, she gets all pissy about it.
Yeah. Yep. I guess, like, from that, it would have been better if Lisa was involved in synthesizing it. Like, surely she'd have the into the scientific world, but...
You already had, though. She had the little, like, spray bottle, and she had the little vial of, like, the pure extract. Like, what else do you need to...
The only reason they needed to synthesize it was because she wouldn't tell them what plant it was. Yeah. It could have been completely all natural just from this one plant.
Mm.
Yeah.
Which must be easy to grow because it grows in the desert.
Yeah.
So, you know what? There's no downsides here, you monster, Lisa.
Because the other thing is, the version of the drug that they take was the synthetic one that was based off a sweat molecule of Abe.
Yeah.
So this isn't even like the most natural, potentially best version of this.
Yep.
And potentially that's the reason why there are those horrific side effects, because it's I was going to say synthesized, but it could have been like in Abe's system and changed chemically from the naturally occurring.
To be fair, the Scorpions were only exposed to the plant extract and their eyes popped out.
Yeah, that's true.
That's true. So that sort of does make me think, well, they probably should have had Lisa discovering the eye popping sooner, and then...
Yeah, and then trying to expose it, and the company's like, oh, we don't care, we're making money. There's a better plot.
Yeah.
But instead it's just, oh no, here's something that's really helpful that has a weird side effect that we could probably figure out with some engineering, because that's what we do as a pharmaceutical company. Nope. Not going to do that. Goodbye. Everything's over. Homer's car is on fire.
Yeah. So, Jordan, for better or worse, what's a moment from the story that stood out to you?
Are we to presume that Willy Wonka is real in this universe?
Yeah, and those events are actually correct.
Canonically,
because
non-fiction.
He does say, without any exaggeration, that he is Augustus Gloop.
Yeah. Well, no, Bart accuses, like, he's like, oh, thanks, Mr. Wonka. He's like, I'm not Willy Wonka. And Bart goes, no, you're Augustus Gloop. Like, it's common knowledge. I recognize you. Yeah, that was really bizarre. It's not like I'm the actor who played Augustus Gloop. He's like, no, those moments in the tube changed my life forever.
Yep.
Yeah. And this is an episode I'm generally positive about, but that thing, it's a bad joke.
Yes.
There's no actual joke there.
Nope.
And it's establishing this weird canon. It makes you think too much about it.
Yeah. And it's brought back, it's called back to at a later point in the episode as well. Like, we haven't had enough of this joke yet. It's definitely strange. They've done things like introduce things to canon before. It's kind of like, that's crazy.
Yeah.
But this is like, well, hold on, you're saying that a fictional event that is in our world, the real, in quotes, world, like, are you saying that it's kind of these fictional universes
like
are overlapped?
In Simpsons Land, Willy Wonka's Chocolate Factory is a documentary.
Yeah. God, that's fucking scary.
Yes, it is.
I'm just like picturing it like a true crime. And then he fell in the pond. I just stood there. I was frozen.
I didn't know what to do. And then these squirrels started taking this girl away, and I'm like, this can't be regulation, but Wonka did nothing.
My skin never recovered. I'm covered in floppy blue skin.
Ooh. That kind of made me go, hold up. The rest of the episode, of course, eyes popping out, crazy, zany, very wacky. But the fact that, there was this postulation that, it was Willy Wonka and he was the real Augustus Gloop made me go, come on. You can do better.
Yeah, it was a bad joke. It was never funny. Even when they brought it back, it wasn't funny. And for better or worse, a moment from the story that stood out to me was the eye popping, which I thought led to some great visual jokes. Like Mr. Burns trying to play ball in the cup with himself.
Yeah.
I mean, I might just have a thing about eyes.
It is squidgy, scringy.
Yeah. I did not like... Was it Agnes getting, like, the squirrel trying to push her eye into the hole?
Yeah, that was a bit much.
Ugh. the little knot in the wood, that it made me cringe.
And also the crazy cat lady, though. Like, you can imagine those tiny little cat claws pouring at your eyes.
Because your eye is a very fragile thing.
Oh. Yep.
Like, it can heal, but you can get really fucked
fuck
up.
it up real good.
It's got tiny little capillaries in it, little cat claws. It's going to just ruin your day.
It.
Yeah. Look, it was very out there and it was very bizarre and not at all grounded. But I thought it did complement this part of the story well, which I think we can all agree was kind of weak.
It did shift it out of boring, we'll put it that way.
Yeah, exactly. That's why I was kind of like, well, I don't know where they're going from here, but let's see what you got. Simpsons writers, Ian Maxton Gray, and who was the other one?
Billy Kimball.
Kimball. Yeah.
I don't know that the story was that boring leading up to it.
Well, just nothing was... no jokes along the storyline were really landing for me. It was all just...
A lot of it was inconsequential. Some of it, there was a lot of asides that didn't really move the plot forward at all, which is fine, but the jokes weren't so amazing that they couldn't have fleshed out the main plot a little bit more.
Yeah, we were pretty quiet watching the episode.
Yeah.
There weren't a lot of big laugh out loud moments. Actually, I think the only actual ha 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 I got was when Grandpa was in a good mood and he was like, "Oh, Bart, here's some money. Go buy some rock and roll records." And
it's like, to the antique store.
it's just like, nice.
Yeah, I got to laugh at that.
I think the other one that we chuckled at was when the two tumbleweeds like come together and then they both go right and then both go left and like do that awkward thing.
This is awkward.
Yeah. That was a good joke. That's fine.
We get another bizarrely specific racism as well when it's like, at least we'll know what's up if I walk in there smiling like a Swede on payday. I'm like, those Swedes, they sure love getting paid.
Is that what he says?
I'm pretty sure.
A Swede on payday. Interesting.
Yep. I completely missed that.
Pretty sure that's what he said. But yeah, so those Swedes in there getting paid.
They're sitting there now listening to the podcast and it's like, oh, you don't understand. That is so like us.
Yeah.
And we also have Australian accents. So play count. How many times before tonight have you seen this episode?
I've at least seen it the once.
Yeah?
I have not.
Yeah, I've seen this a bunch. I generally like season 22. I don't think this is one of the peak episodes, but ultimately, did this feel like an episode of The Simpsons?
Nah.
Really?
We've had The Simpsons discover wonder drugs before, and they've been some of the best episodes we've seen. Grandpa and his love tonic.
Yeah.
This is... nothing happens. Like, nothing interesting. Their biggest focal point was Werner Herzog.
I think they were trying some new things humor-wise, and I don't think they all really landed. Like, an example of what I'm thinking of is that Nelson Wank joke.
That was awkward. I meant to bring that up.
C'est bon, c'est bon, c'est bon.
And remorse. It's like, well, that is something I didn't need in my life.
Because essentially, I get to use this word again, he goes into like hammer space behind the cactus. But the thing is, he's all like, no, that's trash porn. I'll show you real porn. But then uses that to just essentially, well, from our angle, wank behind a cactus. But to Bart and Milhouse's angle, they're looking right at him.
Yep.
Just
weird implications
tugging it
all around.
Yeah. Unfortunately, I don't think this episode opened well. I think there were a lot of bad sketches at the start, and even the Wile E. Coyote Roadrunner bit where they were doing the fake Latin names.
This feels done at this point. Like, it's been 30 years.
I thought it was, like, conceptually funny in that they were modeling off
actual Roadrunners and actual Coyote. Yeah.
What they would actually look like as well.
Yeah, and then did the Propertus, Warner Brothers, and
Copyright
copywriters.
MCMX, whatever, yeah.
And I thought it was fine enough, but it did drag on a bit too long. And yeah, the start of this episode was related with weird sketches like the Martin and the Rednecks bit.
Yeah, that was
very strange.
And again, it dragged on so long. Oh, you invite one person in and the person in there, the Blackhawk helicopters.
Sir, we want to give you a arts grant. No, I'm going to shoot everything.
Like, get it because he was saying like, oh, no, I'm not going to take money from the government. I would rather destroy my own artwork than receive a grant for it. But it just had
made
nothing
no
to
sense
do.
in the context of a school field trip to a desert.
It contributed nothing to the episode.
You know what it reminded me of? That one where they go to the beach. It's like a sketch show. We talked about it before with the Dad says he wants to go higher, and he's like,
higher. When you dish upon a star.
Yeah. It reminded me of like the start of that. It's like we just got a bunch of desert ideas.
Yeah.
Just do it. We'll do some funny jokes. We'll do a masturbation joke. It'll be great. And then,
and then the Skinner's Chalmers bit about, I was going to lose my foot, of which you have two.
Yeah.
Yeah. That just makes me feel bad for teachers in America.
It's feel bad for anyone in America and their medical system. And the fact that, like, we get 4 weeks annual leave a year, and we take that for granted, I think. Yeah. Because they get two, maybe. 2. Yeah.
Yeah, it's insane. The joke I will say I kind of liked was it's really hot, and Ralph is like, I wet my armpits.
That was
No,
good.
he said arm pants.
Yeah. He did.
I was expecting him to go, and my regular pants or something.
I'm actually glad that they didn't.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, there's also a Apocalypse Now reference where Milhouse finds a skeleton of a hippie and he's like, never get off the bus. It's never get off the boat is from Apocalypse Now.
Why didn't he just drop it?
I don't know.
Well, fear does weird things to you, but That's also true. It was one of those, Milhouse got freaked out by a thing. I'm Milhouse and I'm getting freaked out by a thing.
Yeah.
It sort of set itself up for its own failure, really.
Yep. Also, it was kind of weird that when they first get off the bus, there's all these jokes about how hot it is. I thought that was going to be where the story was going for a little bit. Like maybe someone was running for shade and they'd find something in like the shady cavern of an old gold mine that wasn't French porn.
Yeah. I'm just thinking about it. Kind of Jordan's Anal Corner.
Kind of Jordan's Anal Corner.
Lisa and Bart are both there. So we can assume that multiple years
grades
of the school, and they've only got one bus to take all of the school essentially there. I don't know what class sizes are like in the US.
Yeah, this is a sticking point for me with Bob's Burgers because they always do this. They have these field trips where it's Jean, Louise, and Tina, and they're in 3 different grades.
Yeah.
And shit like that does bug me too.
Yeah, I can imagine if they showed other buses, then I'd be fine.
Just show them. Don't have to have anything more about them, just the visual.
Yeah. But yeah, integrity-wise, like, yeah, you can say the show was a bit dull, but I don't think anyone was off.
Lisa is a monster.
Lisa is a monster. But I kind of like how they bent Grandpa's character in this episode, and it was charming to see him happy.
I don't like how they bent his face all the time, making that balloon sound.
When he was like, doing the silly putty.
Pretty wacky. I mean, look, Bart, we know he's kind of entrepreneurial and mischievous. But the fact that he so blatantly said, like, into the wrong hands, like, straight to...
That's my cue to be a part of this episode.
Yeah. And then going around and kind of selling the drugs to everyone. And you're like, I don't know. It just seems so obvious. I know it's like, who would character? Oh, of course, Bart is going to do it. Like, I don't know.
Yep.
I know they had to have some way to, like, distribute it to everyone. I just thought, I don't know.
Even
it's
that
such an
kind of
obvious turn.
Bugged me because the Werner Herzog guys are like, here, have this bottle of this unapproved medication, Abe, but it's just for you. It's like, that is so illegal.
Yeah.
Just so many illegals.
Yes.
5 illegals at least.
So, speaking of him, how about the guest stars of this episode? We, of course, had Kevin Michael Richardson before, and now Werner Herzog playing Walter Hottenhofer, which I'm sure means something funny in German.
Yeah, he did a good job. He didn't have any good material, though.
No.
Yeah, he's just got such a great voice, though.
Mm-hmm.
And, like, lots of people have been using him in various stuff. Like, Rick and Morty fans will actually know him because he has an amazing speech in the second Interdimensional Cable episode. They're asking Jerry to give up his penis. Anyway, I'm not going to do the quote because I'm just going to mess it up.
Everyone knows it. Yeah. Just look it up. It's pretty good.
It's pretty funny.
It's before, the fandom ruined everything.
Yeah. But...
Jinx.
Yeah. But he also had, like, that weird suicide bit. Oh, I just want one day where I don't point a gun at my head. It's like, why the fuck were you even tempted to shoot your brains out in front of children?
It's very grim. The whole thing, I think they're going like, if pharmaceutical bosses had a conscience, they would want to kill themselves on the reg. Which, Yes? Hello? Oh, sorry. BT Calloway.
Thank you. I couldn't talk.
Oh, sorry.
He jinxed me. No, I was going to say, I kind of wish it went with the stereotypical pharmaceutical is evil direction, because at least that would have been some conflict. But it's more like, I'm a super helpful pharmaceutical rep, and I'm going to help you do everything right.
And it would have justified Lisa for not...
Yeah. And it also confused me, like, he's like, here are all our pharmaceutical reps getting on this plane because they're going to distribute the drug across the world that hasn't been approved yet.
Yeah.
It's just, there's a lot going on here and none of it works for me.
And that joke was just based on, all pharmaceutical reps are mindless blonde bombshells.
But again, this is like a really good thing that they're trying to promote. It's curing depression in old people.
I mean, apart from the eyes thing.
Yeah, they didn't know that at the time.
That's true, but they probably should have waited.
Yeah.
And that could have been another thing for Lisa to rebel against, actually. That they were rushing it to market or something.
Yeah, it would have been something. But even then, he says, I'm going to give you a sample, but just only for you, Abe. And it's like, because it hasn't been approved. It's like, well, then everything.
Well, probably because it's like he's already had it. So
he's already on
more of it is, he's already, whatever side effects he's already going to get him.
Definitely. Well, anyway, how about the wackiness of this episode?
Homer grows a tail.
Homer grows a tail?
That was my first thing, and I'm like, no, why is that?
Because drugs will fuck you up, I guess.
The whole testing scene as well was a bit wacky, with Grandpa having the instantaneous reactions. I'm sure people that work in labs for a living will be going, no.
Yeah, it's very boring. I worked in a microbiology lab for a pharmaceutical company for work experience. Shout out to AstraZeneca. Get your rhino caught today. Anyway, yeah, it's very meticulous and boring, and we did something really disgusting. They saved it for the work experience kids because we don't want to do it, so you're going to go do it. They do this thing called the soup test, which is essentially they want to check that their little ampules of drugs are not going to get compromised in various situations, in the heat or whatever. So what they do is they fill a bunch of vats with basically bacteria, and then just put bags of the drugs in the vats of bacteria and then just leave them in a shed out the back for 6 months.
Ugh.
And then you're like, hey, you're going to fish them out, and then you're going to try and look for any that have been discolored or look gross or whatever, and then we're going to test them and see if the things have been. But the smell, oh God, smell, it's awful. And they're like, all right, so just you go over there and you get the things, and then we'll just wait over here. It was disgusting. Anyway.
Why am I all the way over here? You'll figure it out.
Anyways.
Yeah, other wacky moments of the episode, besides the googly eye thing, which...
Yeah, it's disgusting. But... just folds himself into a little suitcase and wheels himself onto a bus.
And gets onto a bus, and it's like, people can get on a bus too, Bart. You don't have to be luggage to get on a bus.
And Lisa is also just looking at him.
Yeah.
It's like, I'm going to hide because I don't want to answer this question.
Yeah.
Also, Jordan's in the corner.
Shit,
I thought I'd get in first. Suitcases don't just have armholes.
His did.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, it's a shit suitcase.
He was ready
then.
for all this.
Yeah.
No, this bit wasn't funny. It didn't make any sense. Why would he escape like this?
And the very next scene, he's back with the family in the family home, standing beside Lisa and Marge.
Yeah.
Just don't understand.
Actually, I will take this moment to point out that I fucking loved his reveal that he spent all the money he made selling the drug on the googly glasses.
Yeah, okay.
I thought that was really funny.
How expensive are those glasses?
They look pretty high quality.
Because you see him take a bunch of, I think, 10s from Skinner.
Yeah.
That's, you know.
There's a decent, I can't remember the name of the references, where Mr. Burns is sitting on the beach trying to command the tide to go back.
Oh, that's a reference?
Lord Knut or something.
Oh, this was amazing.
It's like an exercise in futility, an example of that. It's like
trying to command the waves.
Yeah.
It's
because
like cunt, but I think it's spelled C-nut.
Oh, Kunta, whatever. Yeah. I just loved this bit. I loved that his idea of a day out on the beach was him yelling at the water.
Oh, in like a throne as well. It's very...
Cursed tide.
Oh no, I've been moistened.
It's either C-A-N-U-T-E or C-nut. So Kyunt is probably accurate. King Kyunt.
King, see next you Tuesday.
Does this make it a better joke then?
No. It's just kind of I see what you're doing.
It's like, hey, Mr. Burns, he could be King Lear, he could be King Cunt, he could be whatever.
Yep.
King Cunt, that sounds like just a really good insult, just offhand. You are just
could be a great compliment as well.
Yeah.
Went out this girl and man, she got a king cunt. I nearly killed them both. Yes.
Oh God, the beer is like in my throat burning. Never take a sip when Beej opens his mouth.
She's got a king cunt. Call me a king Lear.
Hey. Terrible.
Yes.
Sorry, Hollywood.
And last wacky thing I want to mention is I love when all the old people were happy and like the kids are dancing around the Mayflower on Jasper's beard.
Yeah.
Yeah. And Moleman just done his rollerblades and 80s gear.
Yeah. Oh, and old Jewish guy was skipping with Krusty's dad.
Oh, reminds me, I don't know if that's trivia that you already knew about. Jackie Mason was supposed to be on the show as Rabbi Krasovsky, but his lines were cut.
On this show?
Yeah, on this episode, yeah.
Oh, how about that? No, I did not know that.
Yeah. The other wacky thing, they're pulling the face to try and make Grandpa look angry.
Yeah.
And like silly putty, and it was stretched way beyond human face proportions. And
yeah, it wasn't a particularly strong bit. It sort of seems to be a common theme with them.
Yeah, they've done that a few times.
Yeah, we had the other week where Grandpa contorted Homer's face to look into his, and then when Grandpa had the party hat shape in his head.
Yeah.
Yeah, gross.
Oh,
They really seem to think old people are very malleable.
Maybe they are in America.
their bones are softer.
Yeah.
Oh, another wacky thing. Actually, yeah, Mole Man is probably dead. He's getting carried by a hawk in the desert at the start.
Oh, yeah.
In the background, he flies as Lisa's just walking along.
He is the Kenny of this show, though.
Yeah.
So how about the heart of this episode? Did you guys feel any bumps?
Nope. I heard some pop-ups, but no bumps.
Yeah. Ask me about eyes, not hearts.
Yeah, it sucked because there was an opportunity for them to go for it, but yeah, Lisa was taking a stand for not particularly any reason.
No.
If they'd explained that it's like, this is dangerous, it's unscientific, you've got to go through the process, like blah, blah, blah.
Yeah, that's all
Or
we
even
needed.
just been a thing like synthetic happiness is not a real happiness, and I'm worried that it's going to affect you in weird ways other than the side effects.
Yeah,
Like,
she does kind of draw on that a
Very,
little. She's
very
like, this isn't
briefly, though.
real.
Yeah.
And it's like, yeah, but happiness is a chemical anyway, so
Yeah.
It's true.
whatever. Like that Ben Lee song.
Yes. But I thought there were some genuine moments of sweetness with Grandpa in this episode.
Yeah, that's true. Like, apart from the jokes again that they did, like, tell me about what you think about baseball players' salaries or whatever, and it's like, oh, don't get me started on how much better that. Yeah, anyway, it was
He's taking the dog for a walk now when he was mean to him before, and
but it was so over the top happy. Like, they could have just shown it in other ways. They were trying to like be like, no, you got to be very clear on this. He's happy. He is beyond what normal happiness is.
Actually, they do the same thing with Homer, where he takes a sip of it and his smile is like up to his ears, and it looks stupid as shit.
Yeah, that was
again,
another
down the
stupid
barrel
shit.
of the camera looking. This is a weird act break.
It gave me like Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde kind of vibe, because he was like, and he was kind of, it was disgusting, and then it kind of, yeah,
it sucked that they did this, especially when it was just like Grandpa was just himself, but now happy.
Yeah.
It was just setting it up so Dan Castellaneta can do his recording studio.
I almost feel like they've done Happy Drugs way better in The Good, the Bad, and the Drugly.
Yeah.
Which I think we gave a pretty good rating for in
It's, I think,
in
our
retrospect.
highest, latest ranking.
Yeah,
Highest,
because
latest.
they talked about like, yes, it is over the top, like Glee and Euphoria, but there is this terrible side effect to it, and there's more emotional weight to Lisa really struggling with, like, it's not me, I don't feel like me, I can't. And I feel like the message there is there's a hard, difficult choice to make, whereas this one it's like, yeah, so you can be happy, but your eyes pop out. And it's like, this isn't a real thing.
None of them seem to mind the eyes popped out.
No, because they're all too happy about it.
Yeah, the resolution is what I really hate here, is they're like, oh no, we need to be grouches so we can give our kids a hard time for being shit at life. And it's like, that's so boring. I'm asleep. Thanks for that.
That's just, you've reset to zero.
For the
But you're making a joke out of it,
because
I guess.
Homer's car is on fire, and it's like,
Oh, that whole sequence just bugged the shit out of me as well.
Because where did they get 4 new tires?
Yeah, yes, but I'm talking.
Connor.
Yeah. Beside that, before that even happens, when Homer is like, I should have been drunk an hour ago, and marches into his car and then goes through, and then there's that whole bit about, oh, don't worry, I'll fix this, and tries to jack his car off the bumper, and it breaks. It's like, you know what you should do? Buy a new car and just put it on your mortgage, and then I won't need to pay any money for 3 years. And it's like, what commentary are you making?
Yeah, I don't know who you.
This is very post GFC commentary. I think.
I'm gonna say South Park did it way better.
Oh, definitely. Margaritaville.
Yeah.
That is a piece of genius, that episode. So, yes or no, would you watch this episode again?
No.
Nah.
Oh.
I've seen it enough, I think.
I might.
Okay, that's fine.
Well, if Elliot's going to make a playlist, what does he put this episode with?
Drugs.
Dumb,
Drugs.
stupid playlist. I'm kidding.
Things to watch by yourself.
Things to not invite Jordan over for.
Room clearers.
Hey, Jesus, it's not that bad.
Hey, I don't think we've ever had the situation where you would definitely watch it before and the rest of us wouldn't. So
Yeah, true.
just jumping on the opportunity.
Oh, actually, no. Like Hangover, maybe.
I'm not even on Hangover.
Really, you'd get up and change it?
Yeah. Because when the eyes came around, I would feel nauseous.
Yeah, I was about to say you. Yeah, actually, yeah. You.
The bit where they have a Newton's cradle of eyeballs.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
I can feel my own eyes too much for that to be
Maybe
comfortable.
Werner Herzog had input into this episode just to make it, a little bit crazy.
A little bit. They should have the eyes being a Newton's cradle.
I had a nightmare about my eye being stuffed into a tree nut.
Perhaps that should be in the episode.
Let me hear the foley that you have on the eyeballs popping out. More wetness.
Disgusting.
What I like about Werner Herzog impersonations is he's just a cut above like an Igor impersonation of like a, yes, master.
Yes. What hump?
We love you, Werner Herzog.
Your voice is really fun.
So, BT, what would you change?
Thing you could do is Grandpa is suddenly happy and maybe even give it to some of the other people, and so it's generally a great antidepressant, but then there's some kind of problem within the town that would normally get a rise out of people, and they just don't care. They stop caring about things, not only the things that were making them depressed, but actual problems, and they just become so passive that maybe it's Mr. Burns is taking them all for a ride. Maybe this pharmaceutical company is making money hand over fist and exploiting them, but they're so pacified by the drug they don't care.
Yeah.
Give us some kind of conflict or some kind of something. Or maybe it's Lisa in conflict with the pharmaceutical company because she disagrees with the way they're doing things. Just something. But the only point of contention is your eyes have fallen out, but no one really seems to mind.
Yeah.
And so it's like, well, it's gross, but if you could figure out a way to
Keep your eyes in.
you keep your eyes in, which A, you can maybe do with some more work on the drug, or B, a lot of them just put, fish bowls on their heads. And hey, it's still
More
gross.
saline, please.
But they're happy about it. So, there's an old saying, if you're happy, warm and happy, just shut the fuck up.
That is almost like a take two of the Do What You Feel
Yeah.
festival, kind of. Not in a bad way.
The difference between happiness and pacification.
Yeah, exactly.
That being, upset and sad and driven to action is important.
Mm.
And you have people quitting their jobs or infrastructure starts crumbling or whatever like that. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, during the protest where they did sort of come up to the pharmaceutical company, I thought that was actually a really funny spin on the protest.
I
where they're
did
all,
like the happy mob when they're holding signs saying, like, these things happen.
Yeah.
Just
At least
happy
you
to
tried.
be part of
Yeah.
this something. Yeah.
Jordan, what would you change about this episode?
I would have Lisa find out about the Scorpion's eyes first and kind of like rushing through in a kind of almost, how they do those horror, like the purple and that take where she's kind of trying to rush to the headquarters, be like, no, don't give the drug to anyone or something, and then seeing all the what's wrong, Lisa, and then the eyes popping out there.
That could have been terrifying and interesting.
No, don't throw the drug out. It makes us happy.
Yeah, and just throw out some of the little jokes. I really hated that childproof door joke about Homer with the like push then pull, and he's doing it with his teeth, and it's like, of course we all know Homer is a fucking moron, we get it,
but then the joke was more that it's not that childproof because Bart opened it.
Waka waka.
Yeah, you took about 20 seconds too long to get there.
Waka waka.
It's
try doing Werner Herzog with that.
And now the new Muppets movie with Werner Herzog
Put
as
the
Fozzie.
hurdy and the gurdy, hurdy, hurdy, hurdy.
No, Werner Herzog is all the Muppets.
yeah.
Hey, Piggy.
Take this, frog. Hiya.
This is what we call the Muppet Show.
Someday we'll find it. The Rainbow Connection.
The lovers, the dreamers, and me.
I can't sing anymore. I'll start crying. It's one of my cry songs.
Also, copyright infringement. So.
Yes. Oh, Disney shit. Yeah, what I'd change about the episode, there was...
I'm still hearing it in my head. It's really funny. Have you been half asleep and have you heard voices?
La 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 dee da da dee. What I'd change about the episode, because I thought there was another dropped episode thread where Lisa flushes the
Yeah, I
syrup.
thought it was going to get in the water system.
Oh, that's what I thought was going to happen. The fish were going to eat it, and then they were going to catch the fish. People were going to eat the fish, and then get the drug in their system that way.
Which I think it's a shame that it wasn't an important plot point, but I think it worked as a joke anyway. I laughed.
Yeah, but also Lisa flushes things down the toilet and so pollutes.
You monster!
Yeah, why does she chuck the whole
vial and not just pour it out?
Pour the vial out.
I do like the joke where the shark eats it and becomes passive, so the fish turn on it and eat the shark.
Yeah, I thought that was a great visual bit, and yeah, that would have totally led to a story point, but I don't know if I'd change this or if I really want to be responsible for what I'm about to say, but I like the idea that maybe Lisa starts trying the drug because it's pretty well established that she's kind of depressed.
Yeah, I think that's fine.
Yeah, and
then you get like a Jekyll Hyde thing where, you know, she's a different person on the drug, but then it's conflicting with who she was and her own identity, and yeah, I'm on board with that.
Yeah, and maybe like the effects are more extreme in youth than they are in the old or something like that. So like she gives it to Grandpa herself, and yeah, I really wished Lisa owned this story a bit more.
Yep. I have been saying in my head Ralph Herzog lines, and that's also a lot of fun. I have wet my arm pants.
I bent my warty.
It's fun.
It's hard to get through.
I beat the smart kids.
BT, do you have any other notes?
No, I'm out of notes.
Oh, you're out of notes. Jordan, do you have any other notes?
Yeah, I got a few actually. Grandpa is a prick.
Duh.
When he's staying in all the different rooms, and he says like two things that really made me go, like audibly go. One, where Lisa is doing the science experiment, and then he says, try to find a man who wants to marry a Lady Poindexter.
I mean, that itself isn't funny, but it's getting you mad at Grandpa, and it's showing he's a burden. Like, I think that's more a slight against the character than...
And then just right after that, when they're in Martin Holmes' room, and he's like,
you call that making love?
Like, I told you he wouldn't sleep through it. And then Grandpa says, in my day, women didn't make a sound. And again, I'm like, ooh, okay, still, I know, probably true, but no.
Yeah, I don't think this is one of those things where it's a slight against the character. Like, he is being awful in that moment, and this is what we are meant to be as the audience. Because, but
it's not like, oh, what a cantankerous, cranky old man. It's like, wow, what a fucking asshole.
Yeah.
I have read the women's handbook from the 1940s. They do say, be sure to give out a little moan to let your husband know he enjoyed himself. Yeah, you enjoyed yourself. So
dear.
It's in there.
Which lead me to another point. There's a scene where he's like, oh, thank you, son. And Grandpa kisses like Homer basically on the lip. And I'm trying to think, like, how do you, like, if you kiss your family members, I've always been like, it's cheek only. I don't kiss any family member on the lips.
Facial region.
No, my ex's family did that, and it kind of threw my family off at one point. That the father just went straight to kiss my mum on the lips, and she's like, "What the shit?"
Yeah,
yeah. It's.
I
don't even like hugging people. So.
Yeah,
but
yet I make you do it every single time.
I've come to accept that. It's one of those. I suppose just it depends if that was your thing.
Yeah,
I've just always thought it was strange. I didn't know like what your guys' experiences was.
I've never had anyone try and do that who wasn't trying to romance me in some capacity.
Oh, be.
And my family aren't that affectionate either. I hug my mum, but I don't hug my brothers or dad.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, my dad and I have this weird moment of, do we shake hands? How do we do this?
Yeah. Yeah, I don't even shake hands with my brothers.
Yeah, it's just more like, bye.
Yeah.
That is the second maple syrup lady that gets murdered in the show.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Remember the Barney?
Where are the lampshades?
Yeah.
Ma'am.
I liked that, though. Oh, who can tell if this knife is dangerous?
Yeah. And just, fucking murders her.
Oh, yeah, and her innards just spill out. I loved that.
Yeah, and she, like, kind of just doubles over and her face stays I like the quote of Mose talking about it's casting a pall over this grim dungeon full of losers. It's like I really didn't need the bit where Lenny was chained up either. I thought he said, this isn't a dungeon, I can leave when I want, and then his wrist is cuffed.
Yeah weird.
I like the quote also of I'll stop I can't do his voice, so I'm not going to try. I'll stop trying to make them happy and go back to exploiting their fear of losing hair and penis.
Their fear of losing hair and penis.
Yeah.
If nothing else, I just love this episode that we get to exercise our Werner Herzog impressions.
It's a lot of fun. Try it at home.
I was just thinking, it's going back to the Muppets thing. Two Werners as Statler and Waldorf, like, they weren't half bad. No, they were all bad.
Ho, 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 ho. Definitely. Is that all your notes?
Again, it was part of the sketch show thing. It's called Satan's Anvil, but no one knows, and we'll never know.
So fucking lazy.
Yeah. And just a couple of John Zano corners.
Couple of Jordan's anal corners.
Couple of anal corners.
But I know he had like 1,000 pills, but how many did he steal without them knowing that there were tons missing? Because he sells it to basically the entire senile's the wrong word, senior population of Springfield.
Yeah.
And he doesn't give them just one. Like the little baggie he produces for Seymour is like 10 or so pills. Like there's no way that no one knew beforehand that he was doing this.
Yeah, that's my other theory, that he really wasn't charging that much. He was like just getting like a nickel per pill or something.
Well, he gets like a big wad of cash from Sam. That's what I'm thinking.
Yeah.
And maybe he sells it, maybe because he wants to rip off Skinner in particular. But anyway.
I loved in that scene though where Agnes was berating Skinner. Oh, no wonder you're so fat. Your desk is full of candy.
Those are Tums. I use them for my upset stomach.
Acid reflux.
Even your acid wants out of you. I liked that.
Yeah. I think it's just, again, we've talked about it before, and I've heard you guys talk about it before about like, wouldn't it be good to go back to the old days of Agnes and...
Yeah.
I actually had a breakthrough the other night where I sort of realized that what is funny about how Skinner acts around Agnes and Chalmers is because all the other time he is
the authority.
Yeah, he is self-assured. He is a veteran of the army. He knows how to plan. He's seen some shit, man.
Yeah.
So what was funny was seeing how he crumbles around these two people.
It was the contrast.
Yeah, watching him be a whipped boy to his mother and watch him being a kiss ass to his boss. Whereas, every other time we fear him, and that's what sucks about his character now.
Mm-hmm.
And just the other corner was the selection couch gag game at the start. The selections are inconsistent. Like they go left, left, and it's different each time that they go left or right. I mean, not that I expect any better, but they were just like, just show other characters this time. Yeah, I didn't like it.
And if you don't hold them to a standard, they're just going to get away with anything.
And it sucked because I actually liked that couch gag because they enter the couch and then game over. That's it. Like, that's a funny bit, but it took too long to get there, and they were just doing the character flicking so they can show, hey, here's some characters from The Simpsons you know and love.
The Guns and Blammo magazine.
That was a good pun.
Yeah, fair enough. And Homer's Elmo voice was really creepy.
Oh, when he was doing the impression of Maggie?
Yeah.
Yeah. That was so shit.
Wacky, yeah.
I'll have him in my room. I want to have him forever. Anyway. All right. Now it is time for me to get speedy in here. It is time for quick notes. Not slow notes.
Quick notes.
Quack notes.
The rock climbers bit. I fucking love this bit.
Quack. Yes.
It's odd enough to be funny, yeah.
The wackiness of him having to climb himself, but then using his own feet and then just obviously hovering.
All right. Now, this next move is tricky. But they just crop enough of him out of frame that it's funny. And it was like, what the fuck is a rock climber climbing a ranger for? This is stupid. But then,
he's got to climb on all 7 continents.
My mouth is not a foothold.
I was wondering when that guy was going to state his name and occupation.
I didn't like that.
Yeah, excellent Carl line. And I also really liked where Grandpa was really accusatory to Werner Herzog. Where were you during the war?
World War II? I wasn't born yet.
Funny how many Germans say that these days. Again, funny bit.
Yep.
Did we mention that they pulled 4 tires out of nowhere?
Yeah.
Yep, sorry, I thought we did.
And had like the pneumatic drills to take them out and everything with no discernible cables.
Yep.
Yes. Just come on, old people.
All right.
Gross, Speech.
All right.
God damn you.
Well, I'm not hungry anymore. So. All right, guys, it is time to rank this thing.
But how will we do that?
I'm going to try. On the Simpsons Index, we rank using our 6-point scale. It starts down the bottom at failure, but maybe if the episode was meh, you give it participant. And then for the good rankings, you have good, bronze, great, silver, excellent, gold. But for the best of the very best that you want to make a film of, they are so good, you give those episodes cubic zirconia. Now let me go first. Let me show you how it's done.
Well done.
I'm giving this episode a bronze. I'd watch it again. Like, it's not great, but also I thought there was enough to compel me for another rewatch. Jordan, what do you reckon?
I am going to give it a participant. That sums up my feelings on this topic.
BT, finish us off.
I'm struggling a little bit here because not everything
Yes,
is ejaculation.
Everything is a euphemism when you're around me.
Erection.
I'm skirting failure. I'm just figuring out where I want to kick this one.
Really? It's not a failure.
I don't like anything about it though. I don't like the story. I don't like the jokes.
You know what's weird is that you're a horror film fan.
Yeah.
Yet you're grossed out by the cartoon eyes.
And then it's dumb as well. It's more that it's dumb that bothers me the most. But yeah, eyes always get to me. There's nothing for me here, and I don't like it. But I guess I don't quite hate it enough to really be bothered kicking it into the pit. There's so many better places to go they didn't take, and that's what bothers me. Just what's a very low participant? You know, finger hanging on the edge. Okay, it probably doesn't deserve the pit, I suppose, technically. So, participant, just barely participant.
That sounds like a very reluctant participant too.
I was gonna fail it at the beginning of this conversation.
Wow.
Yeah, I don't like this one at all.
All right. Well, ultimately, that'll be a shiny participant.
Too high.
This will be joining other episodes like Homer versus Dignity, Simpson Safari, where they go to Africa, A Star is Torn, where... What happened to Star is Torn?
Supernova. The star gets torn.
God damn it. At least it wasn't about semen.
Where Lisa goes in the singing contest, regarding Margie, the amnesia episode, Marge Gamer, where she gets addicted to World of Warcraft, and Love is a Many Strangled Thing, where Homer learns he strangles too much.
All of those are better except for regarding Margie.
Yeah.
That was okay as well.
Better than this?
Maybe on par.
Yeah.
All right, guys. Well, that about does it for the HD era. We're going to eat some Chinese food, and then we are going to watch an episode from the teens era. This will be Season 17's Bonfire of the Manatees. We'll be back.
I forgot there was food.
All right, and we are back, and we just watched our Teens Era episode for the evening. This was Season 17, Episode 1, Bonfire of the Manatees. This was first released in September of 2005. It was written by Dan Greaney, directed by Mark Kirkland. In this episode, Marge catches Homer as he's facilitating the mafia shooting a porn movie at a Simpson home. So she leaves...
It's a snuggle film.
It's a snuggle film.
That's fucking cute, Marge.
And then she goes up the coast and meets a man who's experienced with oogly booglies, aka manatees, and he's a manatee trainer for a while, and then Homer comes to rescue him. I don't know. Guys, what'd you think?
Fuck you, Dan Greaney. Did not care for it one bit. I really didn't like it. Like, I was so bored, and I just stopped writing notes at one stage. I was like... Oh, yeah, I'm supposed to be critiquing this piece of shit. It just really bothered me. I've got a lot of anal corners to get through.
Lots of anal corners!
And, yeah, it just pissed me off. Anyway, what about you, Peach? What did you think?
I was so bored I had to make myself a coffee for this.
Yeah.
Although I really want a, Marge to English translator dictionary now. That sounds fun. Snuggle films, oogly booglies.
Yep.
Dainties.
My delicates, my unmentionables.
This is... it has a weird paint-by-numbers vibe about it, but it also doesn't land any of the moments that... It's a photocopy of a photocopy of a photocopy. It's just lost all its color and personality, and it's just... Yeah, paint-by-numbers thing is fair, but it's also just so detracted from anything normal and yet so utterly dull. Yeah.
They call attention to themselves that, you've done this plot a million times before and it always ends the same way, but they don't do anything new with that information. They do the exact same plot, but worse somehow than all of the other previous. Homer makes a fucking big mistake and has to figure out a way to get his wife back, but he doesn't even do that.
No. He fronts Marge and fucking throws up on himself, and she's like, "Oh, you're the perfect husband because you're so devoted."
I'm like, that was the whole point. He's not fucking devoted at all. He doesn't give two shits about what you want.
She even says the big problem was that Homer lied to me, and then it's like, well, that's not fixed by him being, pathetic.
Yeah, God, I hated it.
No, and even when he was on the journey of redemption, he gets distracted by fucking chicken checkers.
Chicken checkers.
Chicken checkers?
Chicken chickers.
That's probably another one of those off-brand fast food chains that they go about in the episode.
Oh, fuck's sake.
That's not even a good joke. Why am I helping them? Fuck off.
Why?
Oh.
Yeah, why did they do a zoom-in joke on Dim Willies? That is not fucking funny.
Get it? Because he's dim.
Is there a chain that's verbally, orally similar to Dim Willies in America? Because I can't think of one.
We know Denny's, we know Arby's, we know enough that you can pull a joke from that. It just feels like it's a off-brand of the off-brand.
Yeah, didn't require a zoom. But BT, what is a moment from the story that stood out to you for better or worse?
The existence of Fahrenheit 9/1.
I liked that joke.
Yeah. I got a little out of that.
What are those other, 5 guys going to do?
You can figure it out. Who said they were guys?
It's true.
Yeah.
I thought you were the gay mafia.
Is that a bold one, was my other note?
Yep.
Yeah, may as well jump ahead to the guest stars of this episode. So Alec Baldwin was playing Dr. Caleb Thorne. I mean, he acted, he did a job.
Yeah. Again, he just didn't have anything good to work with.
He didn't have any good material, and yeah, it's a shame. What a waste of Alec Baldwin.
Is he one of the few characters that has, I mean, apart from recurring cast members, that has played a character and himself?
I didn't even think of that.
Yeah, it's pretty rare.
Yeah.
Quite possible, though.
Hey, Editing Bay Elliot Jay, let us know, hey? Editing Bay Elliot Jay here to say that this took an annoying amount of research, but here it is. The definitive list of guest stars who, on multiple appearances of The Simpsons, have played themselves and a different character. Of course, Alec Baldwin, Simon Cowell, but the character he played was practically him, and I can say the same for Ricky Gervais's 2 appearances, Adam West as well, and the character he played was 1960s Batman. Elizabeth Taylor, who as we all know played Maggie, and as well there's been Steve Buscemi, Paul Rudd, Seth Rogen, and a special shout out to George Takei, who not only appearing as himself, but has appeared as 4 other characters across multiple appearances on The Simpsons. So there you go, back to the show.
And we are back.
Hey, thanks, Elliot, for that cool bit of information that you provided us.
Yeah.
So, and the other guest star was Joe Mantegna, as well, playing Fat Tony again.
Oh, okay. Actually, for the bit of plot that I'm going to point out is when Marge's leaving in a half and driving away, and Homer's like, "Oh, you didn't say goodbye to the kids," and she comes back and just rams his car multiple times while saying goodbye to the other kids. Like, Marge, you guys have to pay for that. You only have one income. But I like the consistency. The cars are wrecked for the rest of the episode.
Yeah.
Oh, are they?
Yeah. But it just felt dumb. Like, that's very short-sighted of you there, Marge.
But yeah, another one of these bits that's just dragging it out so long.
Yeah, and Marge has never been that, that son of a bitch, I'm going to key his car kind of woman.
No.
You know, that's really not the way she goes about things.
Especially when you're just hurting the family.
Yeah.
So, Jordan, what's a moment from the story that stood out to you for better or worse?
God, okay. I think it's the fact that Marge is so forgiving, and I think that this shits on a lot of the good work that they've done in building up. We usually say Homer and Marge have a pretty good, healthy relationship, despite Homer being an idiot and Marge is a little bit uptight sometimes. But
an enabler as well.
Yeah, but they have a pretty healthy sex life, and they usually figure their problems out. Whereas this is like crank it up to 11 with the wackiness, and really just destroy that good work that you've done.
Yeah, but they're not even playing with like the subtleties of like Marge being an enabler or Homer being very destructive or anything like that. They're just sort of going through the motions with this one, and it just sucks that like him saving the Manatees wasn't even the big thing that got Marge to swing around and come back to him. It was that he was being a helpless fucking vomiting piece of shit.
Yeah, which kind of the fact that he's this helpless fat vomiting thing, and it makes her seem just really depressing that like, oh no, I've got to look after you. You wouldn't be able to look after yourself without me. I forgive you. Why? Who the fuck knows? But it's this.
There's no subtext.
Yeah. It was not earned at all. And it was uber wacky, which I guess you can expect. Was it season 17?
Yo.
Yeah, you can expect that from The Wasteland.
Yeah, so the moment from the story that sticks out to me for worse is this whole porno shoot thing at the start, because, again, Simpsons irrelevant first act, and it starts out with Homer and Lisa doing like a football thing on the betting thing, and then it moves to the porno thing, and I don't know, it just sort of seemed to forget things as it went along. And there was some okay-ish material out of the porno thing, but the forgetfulness of it all, that the movie is called Lemony Licket's A Series of Horny Adventures, and then they're wearing helmets and they're doing a space porno.
Yeah, especially because Lemony Snicket's is a kid's book.
Yeah.
Extra creepy.
Yeah, please don't do that. I mean, I'm sure maybe someone out there has made a Harry Potter porn.
No question there.
But it's not okay.
Wait till you see 10-inch Mutant Ninja Turtles.
Oh, nice.
Not even making that up.
Like how you say wait till I see it, like you've got it queued up, ready to go.
I know, I assume you're going to look it up and get it.
So yeah, this first act was just built around sketches, first about the football, then about the porno, then about also the Santa's village, which none of that material was good.
None of that landed for me, no.
We could go through specifically and say everything that we hated, but there is just so much to hate about this episode.
Yep.
But what I want to know is this your first time? How many times have you seen this before tonight?
I feel like I've seen it twice before.
Yeah?
This is my first time.
Yeah, I've seen this a few, and I just, every time I'm like, fuck, why did I watch that?
Because it's on.
It was on.
Mm-hmm.
That's the best thing you can say about it. It was on.
Picked it, so really, it's
Well,
your fault.
We have to do all of them.
I know.
So ultimately, did this feel like an episode of The Simpsons?
Felt like a copy of a copy of a copy of a copy.
Yeah, it was like a parody of The Simpsons almost, except not funny.
Yeah. And not witty either. Like I said before, there was no subtext to any of the parts of the story, anything where, you feel like they're holding like a meta mirror on this whole thing.
Mm-hmm.
It just didn't happen.
It's almost like a kid's cartoon version of The Simpsons. The example I'm thinking of in my head is you're going to give me half a box of convenience store chocolates with suspicious test marks, and you're like, I don't know what you're talking about, while he bites into a box of heart-shaped chocolates, and you're like, this is a joke for a child, not
sophisticated adults such as ourselves.
Yeah, but The Simpsons used to do smart humor, and there's just none in this episode.
Yeah, it's so lacking. If there's any jokes that we laugh at, just know that it's the exception, not the rule.
Absolutely.
And yeah,
Jinx. Jordan Frost.
Ah, thank God.
So how about the wacky moments of this episode? Let's talk about boyoyoings.
Oh boy.
So how about Homer rescuing the manatees with his swan boat?
That's probably the lesser side of the wacky.
How about the fact his cousin just shows up on a speedboat with a court order saying these jet skis have to leave? What?
Oh my God, it's notarized. Go.
What? None of that made any sense.
Why are they cousins? Because their dogs are brothers?
Yeah, at least I can take that as being like a weird way to have them there, but without breaking canon of actual Simpson human family members.
Yeah.
Homer, for some reason, decides to explain away the absence of Marge by saying she died by getting crushed by an air conditioner.
And
you could just say, she's fine.
Yeah.
Why does he not want it explained? Isn't he there to save her?
Yeah.
Yeah, I thought if we were going to get a follow-up to that, then something, but there just wasn't. He just, she's dead. But,
and they're visibly shocked. It's not because obviously cared for her in some capacity.
Yeah,
and they're like, oh my God,
to
what?
ask, yeah.
Yeah. Oh, I've got it. Why? Because they needed to make the follow-up joke of, because of the settlement money, her funeral was air-conditioned. Like, fuck off.
What was that? That wasn't a joke.
No, it's not, but they felt they needed to make it anyway.
And yeah, Homer's whole fucking thing, saying rubes constantly and doing that
pissed me off.
Arrogant loud whisper, they're the rubes, these guys are such an idiot.
That's the joke I hate for... See, it's hard because I think I'd forgive it in early Simpsons. But the whispering so loud that everyone can hear what you're saying joke is so overdone.
Yeah.
And it wasn't really funny.
No, and they swung for this thing as, they ain't as quaint as they think they is. And where Homer goes, I'll get a belly full of moonshine and whatever. And they're like, we're having lasagna and Caesar salad. Those are like the whitest Italian foods you could order as well.
Yeah.
Like
spaghetti and meatballs.
And it's essentially like that. They may as well have said spaghetti and meatballs.
Also, why did they fucking Simpsons do it to themselves?
Yeah, that was weird.
With the,
what do you mean?
Going to go to the outhouse again.
Oh, for fuck's
We don't have an out. My recording studio jinx. Jordan Frost.
It's just, why are they doing their own jokes again? Is it they think, hey, regular people have moved on from watching our Simpsons episode now, so we're going for
a whole new
new
generation to roll the same jokes onto.
Yeah.
That was from Who Shot Mr. Burns, Season 7, Episode 1. This was Season 17, Episode 1. Do they think we've got like a 10-year memory?
Maybe that's how big generations are. You start watching The Simpsons after 10 seasons, which I think maybe that's what happened to me.
Yeah.
I stopped after Season 10. I was like, I've got other stuff to do.
So yeah, other wacky moments of this episode?
I'm sorry to do it to you. I feel bad whenever I bring this up, but some of these are anal corners.
Some of these are anal corners.
Can I just go through them? Like really quickly?
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
I think we're going to be padding for this episode anyway.
Yeah.
Homer has a little thing saying "my team," and I was like, "That's cool." But then
I like
the
that.
Broncos are playing, and you go back and you think, "Oh yeah, he owns the Denver Broncos canonically, right?"
Well, the other thing I want to bring up on that is when the game starts, he's like, "Go Broncos!" But then cuts to later, and he's like, "Oh, the Broncos won. I should have backed them." Like, why were you cheering for them?
Yeah,
then?
exactly. Oh no, because Professor whatever, and even said to go for the Broncos.
Yeah.
Play for the what? Why? Because he's cheering for. He says my team. It says my team, not just like this is my favorite team. This is the team I fucking own.
But then why is he going for the Broncos? He doesn't own them either because he hates them.
Yeah.
Oh God. Anyway, both Homer's hands were getting hammered, yet only one is in a cast.
That can happen. I can hurt multiple things, but only need to put a cast in one thing.
Sure. Why did she leave the kids at a porn shoot?
That stuck out to me. If you are so mad at Homer in that moment, wouldn't you want to protect your kids from this monster? And the porn actresses, as far as they were still there.
Yep.
Yeah.
And theoretically, so is a nude Carl.
Yeah.
Manatees are not like that at all. Having swum with them,
Are they a bit more aggressive and humpy?
they are, in fact, you move too much and they will swim away from you. Like, they'll be like, get the fuck out of Dodge.
Oh, they're skittish.
Yeah, they're very skittish. The ideal way to swim with the manatees, we did it in Florida. Basically, you get a pool noodle and you put it underneath your hips and you float. They call it the dead man float. You've just got to be as still as possible. And if you're still, because you've got a snorkel, they'll maybe come up near you. And you can reach out with one open hand and pat them.
As though you're already a corpse.
Yeah, but basically, the way that they depict manatees, nothing like the truth at all.
Mm-hmm.
Second of all, manatees they're also known as sea cows or dugongs. Dugongs and manatees are different. They're different animals. They're both under the same genus, but they're not the same animal. Dugongs are in Southeast Asia and everything. Manatees are over in the Atlantic.
Come on, Simpsons writers.
Yeah. Telescopes aren't for sound.
Yeah.
They go, oh, look, it's Mom with a telescope and you can hear her through the telescope.
Yeah.
That's obviously not how they work.
Assume it has a shotgun mic underneath.
Sure. Why not? And I don't know what else it would be for, but the power plant seemingly has a manatee washing station ready to go.
Yeah.
Naturally.
This is a bit of wackiness that I was kind of on board for when Mr. Burns and Smithers discovered the manatee in Homer's clothes at the desk.
Yeah, I do like the joke of, Smithers, who is this man? That's clearly a manatee posing as Homer Simpson, so...
Yeah, but then the whole car wash sequence can just go fuck itself.
Yeah.
Such an on-the-nose music choice.
Why did they need to make it car wash? If they'd done a parody of the song, called it Man Wash, I don't know.
That's a different porno.
Yeah. Well, yeah, because this is actually a bit in Futurama that I hate. That cold open where Bender's going through the robot wash and, it's doing car wash and that was shit. And it's just an on-the-nose music choice and I fucking hate it. And, it ruined an otherwise kind of charming bit, even though it didn't make sense. Homer didn't really befriend a manatee.
No. He didn't owe him a favor at all.
Yeah, actually, if in that moment when he saved the manatees from a jet ski rube, then if he bonded with one... then you might have been able to set that up, but it wasn't set up.
I don't understand.
No, and the action sequences with them were shit as well. They didn't look that good, and the only joke there was one's got a chain, one's got a crowbar, the next one has an oxy torch, and it's...
Yeah.
I mean, maybe a good joke, but at this point in the episode,
Yeah,
it's
you're
just
having such a lame time, you don't care.
And the other bit of wackiness
Marge zapping herself to get her hair
That was crazy,
up
yeah.
again.
Oh, is that why she did that? Okay. I thought she was doing it because she wants to feel something again. Like I
Jesus Christ, that's grim as well.
Oh, and the last bit of wackiness that I'll point out is the new reality show Billionaire vs. Bear.
Yeah.
Again, what was the point of that show again?
Because the bear is actually a tiger.
No, but what's the point of the show?
They point out how overly wacky reality TV has gotten waka waka waka. Unlike the scripted comedies, which are straight-laced and make sense.
And just a never-ending fountain of entertainment. So how about the heart of this episode?
I actually had a note that said, devoted husband, fuck off, with a lot of scroll. I got very angry, so the letters were very shaky.
Well, no, we can't hit on that enough. Marge's justification for taking him back is so wrapped in bullshit.
Yeah.
Yep. It could have been, I don't know, something closer to the catfish where, he goes to extremes to win her back. But even then, it was lame and boring.
Yeah. Did it make it any better or worse that the manatee trainer wasn't a threat?
Definitely better, because if he was interested, then it would have been harder to walk away, because he's someone who's passionate. I like the idea that Marge is finding meaning in it, but then that's not really played on enough to really matter.
They've kind of done this before with the episode that we also ragged on, something Margie. Enlarging Margie.
Oh, regarding Margie.
Regarding Margie, not
yeah,
enlarging
Margie.
Yeah,
that's right, because then, enlarging Margie. Yeah, in that one, she meets someone speed dating who's like really nice, but then... Yeah.
I mean, he does turn out to be a dick, but that whole thing about like, it is a choice between two people, and this one it isn't, and it's like, okay, then there is really no conflict, and then no reason for her to be like, no, actually, I do love him.
Not only that, but when Homer first finds her and says, I'm sorry, can you come home? She's like, I forgive you, I'm not coming home yet because I still have work to do here. But then at the end, she's like, oh, no, I will come home. It's like, well, nothing really changed. There's still manatees to look after.
Yeah.
And the porno thing didn't even become part of the problem in the end. This is what I hate about the forgetful nature of this episode, is that the porno thing was the problem, and...
The lying was the problem.
Well, yeah, but nothing gets changed. It's just everything goes back to normal, and for no fucking reason.
Literally, she succumbs to her own synopsis of their relationship. Like you'll... And then a week later, I'll forgive you, and then a week later, you'll have gone back to normal, and it's like... Yeah, well, don't let him do it then if you're that concerned about it.
The status quo. Ay caramba. Jinx.
Yes...
Beatings, Elliot Jay O'Neill.
One punch.
Yes or no, would you watch this episode again?
Nyent.
God, no.
Nah, fuck that. BT, I can't believe we're here already. This is how thin this episode is. What would you change about this episode?
Many, many things. Just give me a central conflict, give me some heart, give me a resolution that makes sense. You know, Marge finding a new thing and that gives her day's meaning makes a lot of sense. It kind of reminds me a little bit of when she's in the musical or something like that.
Yeah.
Having her find meaning outside of the home is good. I think have the actual resolution at the halfway point, but then let her finish whatever business she's found, you know.
Yeah.
I'm okay with that. It doesn't have to be held off to the end. And just a lot. And get some jokes in there. Get rid of some car washes. And
Yeah. Jordan, what would you like to change about this episode?
I probably would have thrown out the treatment and just been like, nah. At the, like, hey, I've got this pitch. And nah.
Yeah, it's called Bonfire the Manatees. Get out.
You said a couple of things there, but it's basically just change it entirely.
Yeah, nearly.
So it's
its entirety.
It's not even remotely imaginable next to this episode and it being the same thing.
Yeah, I was hoping your responses might actually give me some ideas of what I would change, but yeah, I don't have anything besides this entire first act is wasted time.
Yep.
You didn't even need to send the family away. Start the episode by you're in debt to the mob. Just fucking hurry it along. You spend so much time waiting in the football thing, in the Santa's Village, and in the porno that, we haven't even really talked about the Santa's Village yet. Not that there's much to talk about, but it was all just wasted, morose, boring, dark humor.
No, don't you get it? Santa was reading Tom Clancy's Op Center. That's a fucking riot. That's hilarious.
And then died.
Yeah.
Oh, he got bad medical news and then he died.
Get it? He's dead.
Yeah, but why did he die immediately? That seems rather strange.
Because this episode didn't know what it was doing.
Did he OD? Did he, like, commit suicide? Do you reckon?
He got to the end of the Op Center and had nothing left to live for.
God, who knows?
He should have never finished that book.
For he wept because he got to the end of Tom Clancy and there were no
more Tom Clancy books to read.
Yeah, he's dead now. Poor Tom Clancy.
Mm-hmm.
Shout out. BT, do you have any other notes?
The one thing I will give this is where she left with that rugged man. It's like, oh, rugged? Does that mean handsome? Oh, no. Handsome means he looks at himself. Rugged means you look at him. I thought that was cute.
That was my one good joke in this whole thing. Yeah.
Yeah, that was good. Did you have any other notes?
Oh, yeah. Small.
Out of corner.
Pretty sure that doorway that Marge slams doesn't actually have a door in it.
Yeah, that seemed odd to me too.
Yeah.
To be fair, it might have just been there, but no, I don't think so.
It's like to the kitchen, right? Between the kitchen and the living room?
So the kitchen, living room, or kitchen, dining room, I'm not sure, but neither one has like a... Actually, sometimes the living room one does. And Homer getting his hand broken was kind of like that scene in Casino, but they didn't lean into it enough for it to be a reference, so...
Yeah. And they used the ball peen side.
Yeah.
That's gonna
snap a lot.
That's gonna hurt.
That's a horrifying detail.
Yeah.
Jordan, do you have any final notes?
Darren Brown did the thing that they did with the betting. He did this thing called the race. I can't remember. It was a show. And then basically he did that. He sent out...
2 separate pamphlets.
Yeah. But to hundreds of thousands of people and then tracked them all. And then like it was a race. It was a horse race and there was 6 entrants. And so he said 6 different things out. And then to the remaining pool, he sent 6 different things out. So eventually at the last one, he had 6 people. When you watch the show, it was all about like you were just following this one person and he was saying like, actually, no, I have a system that works. And you don't know until like the very last episode, actually you're not the only one here at this race. There's 5 other people that I've been talking to who have all had the same experience as you. But yeah, it just made me think of that. I was like, oh, wait, no, it's a Simpsons review. Never mind. Sorry. For some reason, the 2 like porno actresses are like, we've been in this ship for 100 years. And I was like, what Passengers is based on?
Based on a joke in a bad Simpsons episode.
Yeah. I just have a note, and I don't know why, but I wrote, Carl's sex genius. Don't know why.
Oh, yeah. The other line I do like is when Lenny and Carl walk in and they're both invited to work on it. He's like, I've always wanted to work on a pornographic movie. I'll operate the soundboard.
And I'll do all the sex scenes.
Yeah.
I like the soundboard bit.
Decent joke.
Marge is fucking cute. Is this a snuggle film? We've already talked about that.
Mm-hmm.
In the room where we do puzzles?
Yeah. Not just the breakfast room.
Yeah,
but
puzzles.
Not where you eat, for example, or prepare food. We've got a theme of Bart in enclosed spaces. He's in the dog cage.
And the last one, he was in the suitcase.
Yeah.
Why was he put in the carrier?
Doesn't make any sense, Elliot.
And the only funny visual bit that came from it is him drinking a milkshake, and it wasn't that funny.
No, it wasn't at all. Or the line of, can I come out of the cage? Like, no, it took me so long to put you in there. Like, well, no fucking wonder. Not sure what the motivation of the manatee trainer was, because he's trying to save them. Then when they die, he's happy to just cook and eat them.
That is weird. Well, he's kind of like, oh, well, what am I supposed to do? Just bury it or something?
Well, no, he says, what am I supposed to do? Bury them at Arlington, which is like the huge military cemetery in Washington, D.C. That's the one where you see with like all the white crosses and everything on the hill.
Mm-hmm.
I like it as use every part of the animal sort of
If he kind of done it as that, yeah.
Or if he like inexplicably like made Marge a perfume because of the, what is it?
Yeah, you think of ambergris.
Ambergris.
Yeah.
Do dugong whale manatees have that?
No,
Maybe.
not fish. Actually, whales aren't fish either.
Nothing is fish. Fish are a lie.
Yeah.
Well, it is time for speedy, happy, funny note time. No funny notes, probably.
Speedy, fucking happy notes. Whatever, fuck.
So, hey, Frosty, did you lose your hat? Where's your hat, Frosty?
Oh no, I can't lay down.
Please don't tell Mr. Spinelli that I lost my hat.
Again.
Lame. The dial phone line thing, keeping him on wait. But what if she's trying to call while we're talking now? I broke the phone. I better call my... Fuck, it didn't stop until it did. But then I wish it just never began. And, like, just Homer's arrogance in this episode. Like, not Homer the character, but Dan Castellaneta delivering these lines as Homer, thinking that they're going to play. Like,
you blame a director for that. Because that's where you say, cut, do it again.
Marge, where do we keep the nuts? Dirty socks. Marge, do I get a pizza with a check? How do you write a check? Another note that I had that was actually kind of funny, where the Jockey Rube guys were like, okay, that's 2 things we respect, bravery and barbed wire tattoos. And then that was just more of a joke on the jocks. And actually, I kind of like Homer's admission that, hey guys, on any normal day, I'd be harassing them with you. In fact, I'd probably be the guy that took it too far.
It also fucks up the heart a little bit, because he didn't really care about any of this.
Yeah, that's true. And my final note is the only time that I liked Homer's whole anti-Rube stance was when his cousin comes up after he's dazed and goes, how many fingers am I holding up? And Homer's just, dumb country mouse, can't even count.
Yeah, that was all right.
But again, having such little fun, you're just trying to find the fun where you can. Guys, it's fucking time to rank this thing.
Groovy.
BT, kick it off.
I reckon I'm a participant. I'm not fired up about it enough to hate it.
Really?
It's just boring. It's just really, 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 really boring. If it comes on, I'm going to go to sleep.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not going to be so annoyed with it, I'm going to stay awake. So it's forgettable. I'm going to forget it. I'm going to enjoy forgetting it, but I'm not going to get riled up about any of it. So, participant.
Well, I think that's where I'm at, where yeah, it's boring, but it is painfully boring. It is painfully devoid of emotion. It is painfully devoid of explanation. It is painfully devoid of memory.
But not void of manatee.
You got me there. But yeah, so I'm just straight up failing this one. Like, maybe if on a better day I'd rank it participant, but I've just got such little love for this episode. Jordan, finish us off, please.
I am angry, so that usually means I will have to fail it. And today is no exception to that rule. Yeah, I'm going to go with a failure. I think, this may be boring, but I think it made me really upset. They point at themselves and like Homer and Marge's kind of sometimes rocky relationship, but don't have any message or way to fix that. They just basically fuck it up even more.
Yeah.
And just be like, isn't that crazy? Isn't that really
Those
wacky?
Crazy kids.
Don't you love it? Yeah.
And that's what I think I was getting at with the whole paint by numbers metaphor.
Yeah. And it sucked.
It super sucks. Guys, this will be a shiny failure all around, and we actually haven't had a shiny failure for a very long time.
Oh, good.
This will be joining such episodes as Marge versus Singles, Seniors, Childless Couples, Teens and Gays, Codependence Day, where Homer puts Marge in the driver's seat after having a drunk driving accident.
God, that's awful. Yeah.
Homer and Ned's Hail Mary Pass, when Homer starts making
that's right.
bragging dances for the NFL. Kiss Kiss Bang Bangalore, when they go to India. 10% Solution with Krusty and his agent, played by Joan Rivers, and Mathlete's Feet, where Lisa gets really into the Waldorf school of teaching. Yeah, this is just such direct up at this end.
So sleepy.
Guys, we might need to get into a classic era episode. What do you reckon?
Oh, thank you. Oh, thank you, sweet, kind Elliot.
We've really given it too much power.
Yeah.
Although this will be at the tail end of the classic era. We're going back to season 9 with Trouble with Trillions. We'll be back.
Okay.
Quack.
Quack.
And we are back, and we just watched our classic and final episode for the evening, which was Season 9, Episode 20, The Trouble with Trillions. This was first released in April of 1998. It was written by Ian Maxtone Graham and directed by... And you guys might have noticed that I've started mentioning the directors because...
I did.
You know, it also sort of says about, the episode as a whole, who wrote it, who directed it. And I'm glad I did, just for this name, Swinton O. Scott III.
Wow.
That is not a name of
Americans love their the third or fourth.
I know.
Doesn't make any sense to me.
I'm pretty sure that's actually the name of a racehorse. So
This episode was directed by a horse.
Makes sense.
In this episode, Homer leaves doing his taxes to the last minute, and he does a super bad job of them. So the IRS get him to do some snitching work to repay his debt or finances or whatever, which leads him to investigate Mr. Burns, who is believed to be in possession of a once-printed $1 trillion bill. Guys, what did you think?
It makes me want to make sure I do my taxes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Otherwise, what, you're going to have to go on a boring adventure?
Yes.
Okay.
Boring.
He got to go to Cuba.
Yeah, he did.
Yeah, look, this isn't the classicest of classic episodes.
It's fine. It's not my favorite, but it's fine.
It's one of these weird things where there's a few iconic moments and you're like, oh, but the episode itself isn't that iconic.
Yeah, Homer rushing to get his taxes in, that's funny.
Yeah.
I think that opening, that first 5 minutes is probably the best part of the episode. And from there, it's kind of just...
The wholesomeness of Ned as well. The very beginning, which was New Year's Eve, and it's like, 10, 9, 8, 8.
The famous ball that drops in New York is in Springfield and it's stuck on 8.
And drops and catches fire.
5, 3, 2, 1. Yay!
It burns down the courthouse as well.
Must have been some party.
Yeah.
Yeah, it had a great bit of wholesomeness of Ned. But yeah, I do agree that once the IRS catch up with Homer, that's when the episode finds its pacing, and it's particularly slow. I mean, I enjoyed it. It was a good episode.
It's good enough.
So, BT, what is a moment for better or worse from the story that stood out to you?
Well, it seems you have a flair for treachery. I would like to be told that myself one day.
Just need to betray more people.
Yeah, I mean, obviously. Other than, the frantic dash for Homer to get his taxes in, Just, the idea of this is how he's going to win his freedom from the IRS is doing dodgy deals and being their henchman. I like it.
Yeah, it's a good setup, and it led to some pretty okay material.
Pretty okay is the thing.
Yeah.
This is one of those sessions where I don't know if I've just eaten too much Chinese food, but I'm just sleepy today.
Yeah.
Sleepy Beach?
Sleepy Beach.
What's that monkey song? Wake up, Sleepy Beach.
That always makes me sleepy.
What were some of your favourite bits from the whole tax undercover snitchy McGitchy?
Oh, come on.
And Bart calls home a rat boy at one point. I just want to point that out.
Yeah, he does.
Okay, Marge, if anyone asks, you need constant care. Maggie is 7 people and Bart was wounded in Vietnam.
Lisa's a clergyman.
Clergyman, that's right.
That's right.
Yeah, he was being so silly and ridiculous
You
then.
get a great little Wiggum line of people, the harder you shove, the faster we'll all get done.
Yeah.
Oh, and I forgot that when they go to Otto...
Why did you leave your taxes to the last minute?
Taxes? I thought this was the line from Metallica.
But then he stays there.
Oh, yeah. Stupid stoner.
Although I do like the Brockman was like, well, I got my taxes done months ago, then bounces to his tax account.
Yeah.
Byron.
And Krusty as well. That is such an iconic line. Why didn't you get your taxes done? And
Because I'm an idiot.
You happy?
so many times in life, that was my spirit animal.
Yeah.
So, Jordan, what about you? For better or worse, what's a moment from the episode that stood out to you?
It stood out because it is a giant plot hole to me.
Mhm.
I mean,
Yeah?
How is another country going to spend a US $1 trillion bill?
Well, I mean, that's one. But two, why is Monty a pilot? Was he always a pilot? Forgetting that for a second. They know he has the bill. They
Yeah.
know it didn't arrive.
Yep.
Why did they not investigate it at all?
They needed a man on the inside, and they're busy. Look, that tax machine can go 9 entire tax returns per day.
I know.
So they're backlogged
You could fool it.
massively.
No, but like they're obviously sore about it, right?
Yeah.
But they could just get a court order. He's got it on display. Like, well, he doesn't. He has
The
a fake on
fake.
display. But still, like, there's no reason for the whole plot to even exist at all. It'd be like, oh, you're back in America? That's suspicious. You wouldn't have that $1 trillion bill on you? No? Oh, okay.
What
well,
happened to it? Because we gave it to you, and they never got it.
yeah, that bit was like, well, how are you covering that up? Why are you even attempting to answer that?
Yeah. Like, he could have just made it go missing and maybe, like, even set up a callback for that Castro bit, which was one of the things, because I'm going to say, for better or worse, what stood out to me was the whole Cuba thing,
Yeah.
where they didn't actually do much with it.
No.
Homer Goes to Cuba episode. There could have been so much more to mine from there.
But they just seem to want to shit on Cuba,
Yeah.
essentially. They're like talking about like, oh, how broke they I mean, look, they were pretty poor while there was all the embargoes and everything on there.
Yeah.
And, you know, they were struggling. But the fact that they made them out to be like idiots as well, it's kind of like, yeah, kick a man while they're down when you're the people that are making them, you know, the way that they are, essentially.
Yep.
Yeah.
When you do more trade with North Korea than you do with Cuba.
Yeah. So, yeah, in this bit where Fidel Castro, can I have a look at the bill?
Yeah.
I
Now
love this
give
bit.
it back.
Give what back? See, I almost wish that in the
Yeah.
footage before, that's what Mr. Burns had done to them.
I really would have liked a thin excuse of something. He's just like some blatant lies like, we always suspected it was a lie when he said he dropped it, but now we need proof.
Yeah.
You know, something.
Mm.
Oh, I dropped it into the ocean and it was eaten by several sharks.
I gave it to them. I don't know what to tell you. Maybe they're lying.
Yeah,
Well, 'cause
that's enough.
Because the thing is, he doesn't use it.
No.
He is essentially going, this is frivolous spending, which is, it's relevant throughout various stages of history, not just, you know, post-war.
Actually, when did the Cuban embargo happen?
After, like, Bay of Pigs and everything, right?
Because,
When
my
Castro
pitch
took power.
is, because what I didn't like about the found footage bit is where they were meant to deliver the note to France, and then they're like, oh, we'll be snooty to Americans forever.
Mhm.
Oh, ho, 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 ho. That was a lame joke to me.
Yeah.
It's just quick rewrite. Burns causes the embargo to Cuba by blaming it on Cuba.
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah, that works.
Maybe. I don't know.
But
That's-
even a line like, we're sure he stole the $1 trillion, however, we're never able to prove it because he definitely never spent it, which means it must still be in his mansion.
yeah,
So at least if they could say we couldn't accuse him of it because if he stole it, he never spent it.
that's right.
The thing is, like, we all know government departments could just issue a warrant and just
Oh, yeah.
search his place. Like, so it's still pretty flimsy, But it's better than what they gave us.
Warrants, what kind of lefty paradise do you live in?
Socialist.
What are you saying? The police will just do it without a warrant?
Oh,
or
yeah.
okay, right.
Never. So, play count. How many times before tonight have you watched this episode?
I'm going to say twice.
Twice only?
Well, yeah.
Wow.
I'm going to say twice too.
Wow, I must have seen this 20 or 30 times.
It's this thing. There are other shows,
What?
and sometimes I watch them.
Oh, like Futurama.
Yes,
But there's only 2, right?
that's pretty much the end of it. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I love season 9. I don't think it's exactly where The Simpsons were making all the bad episodes. I think there's still a lot of fun to be had in this season.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Ultimately, though, guys, did it feel like an episode of The Simpsons?
Sure.
It almost reminds me of, it's like 3 separate stories, and it reminded me of, God, what's the one where they end up in Hawaii with like leprosy?
Yeah, the one where they go skiing and Marge breaks a leg, and then Lisa looks after
Yeah,
her.
Little Big Mom.
Yeah. It kind of almost reminded me of that story where it's like loose tied to the next act and then loose tied to the next and we kind of had 3 ideas.
Yeah, it is very weird where you start, where you end up in that one. But this one moved along fairly well.
Yeah, it's not bad.
Yeah, we start with Ned doing his taxes on New Year's.
Yep.
And then we end on Mr. Burns, Smithers, and Homer on a raft going from Cuba to America.
Yep. Naturally.
Yeah, I agree. It was a bit stitched together and wasn't really the show's integrity on its best form.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't think any of the characters were particularly off.
No, I like Homer's reasoning for not having done his taxes. Like, I did that last year.
Yeah.
It's like, it's not an absolute no idea what taxes even are or anything like super dumb. It's just, no, I did those last year. And it's like,
I like how he says over a year ago. So it's like, he obviously did them even maybe early last time. But just this year, he really fucked up.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, definitely. I do agree that it is a bit weird that Mr. Burns was the pilot at one point, but I think it was saved with that joke, sir, you're flying the plane.
Take us down, Smithers.
Yeah. It was actually cool to see Mr. Burns in his petroleum distillate costume again.
Yeah, that's a classic.
Yeah.
And not drawn attention to it. It's just really charming. And
the driving goggles. Homer obviously figured out where the velocitator and the deceleratrix were.
Yep.
How about the wackiness of this episode? What were some of the particularly out there moments?
This was a suit Charlie Chaplin was buried in.
Ew.
I like the quick little detail. Mr. Burns' wallet is Velcro.
Oh, is it?
Yeah, it makes that little sound.
Oh, I didn't notice. That's really funny. Yeah, Burnsy's whole tour of the house as well. Oh, I'll come in. Let me find something to scold you with.
And then throws water. It's like, it's still cold. Yeah, all right.
Better get you a towel.
Normally vicious dogs should be mauling you by now.
I was kind of sad there wasn't a cutaway as to why they weren't there. Like, I thought there'd be I don't know, something. Maybe they're all just asleep.
But Homer's line of, I don't know what to tell you.
It's so good.
I'm
I
as
wish I
surprised
could
as
help.
you.
Yeah.
I'm just going to rush through a couple of bits I did. Like, not necessarily wacky, but they're sort of wacky-ish.
Yep.
Look, we know he still has the bill, but satellite pictures have only shown us they're not on his roof.
Yeah. It's pretty good.
It was really funny.
The following film is top secret and contains adult situations.
Yep. Yeah, I heard it in that SBI's guy's voice.
You're under arrest for grand larceny. As though the word grand adds 3 zeros each time you say it.
Yeah. And into that top secret film, I love that the code name to get it playing was cheese.
Yeah.
So dumb.
Yeah, and then when both the IRS guys are unconscious, Homer just runs backwards and puts one's hand on the other one's butt.
Oh, Homer.
It's a classic bit, though.
Yeah, and in Cuba as well, there was some wackiness there, like with the boxers smoking cigars, and one goes to pick up his wet stogie and the other just king hits him.
Yeah.
Yep.
I had a game based similarly on that.
Cuban punching.
Well, it was called Cubanos Hermanos Mercenarios, which is like Cuban mercenary brothers, where you have a cigar and a water pistol, and the aim is to put the other person's cigar out. Yeah.
That's pretty cool.
That sounds muy bueno.
Yeah.
I think we should play this game.
Yes, definitely.
Go get cigars and super cigars.
Yes.
There's a little bit of implied wackiness where you see the plane crashed and like Mr. Burns goes, oh, sorry about the landing. The fog was so thick I could barely see my cataracts.
Yeah, it was alright.
Yeah.
That was a good line, but it was just weird how it was that static shot on the plane and you couldn't see anybody.
Yeah.
Oh, wackiness. Yeah, McAllister is paying his taxes with booty.
I like that.
Pretty successful. He's got a whole like little chest's worth of stuff.
Yeah. I think he's a libertarian, though. He was,
Yeah.
Gar, I don't know why I even plunder sometimes.
Yeah.
No, that was really funny. How about some of the heart of this episode? Were there any
Oh my
bumps?
God, yes. That one scene, it's like your heart fucking breaks for Marge.
Yeah.
Where it's like, one, she says, I painted that for you. And then she just like puts it back up and looks at it and goes, you really had a lot of talent, kid. The kids would like look at each other like really sad.
Yeah.
Marge, I'm so sorry. You don't deserve that.
Yeah.
Oh, God.
Yeah, that was tough.
Just it's so out of place with the rest of the episode.
Yeah.
Actually, and this goes to integrity as well, Lisa has a little bit of out of character moment.
She's like, we're trillionaires now. Woo!
Let's get dune buggies.
Yeah, like doesn't care about wanting to go to college.
I did kind of like it.
Oh, me too.
Even
And
though it's out of character, it was pretty funny.
No, because I love Bart's lead in as well. It's like, I don't need to answer to you. I could buy and sell you now.
Yeah.
There's not really many heart moments. It's not what this episode's going for.
No. Oh, there is another bit of wackiness I just thought of where the IRS guy is like standing beside the desk. The other guy turns around with the chair and goes, anything, huh? And he gets up and walks over, and the other guy gets in the chair and turns it back around. So
Yeah.
it's like they swap places.
Nice.
Yeah.
It was a visually weird bit as well because the guys look really similar to each other.
Yeah.
I think that might have been what they were going for.
You saying all government employees look the same? That is racist, man.
It's not racist. It's like,
That's racist.
I'm just going to keep backing myself into a corner, aren't I?
Racist. I suppose all corners look the same to you.
Oh, God, now I'm digging a hole.
Holes as well. God damn it, man. When will the hate stop?
So, yeah, I don't have anything to say about the heart of this episode.
No, neither does the episode.
No.
So, yes or no?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
What playlist are we putting it in?
It's kind of a Simpsons go-to almost.
Yeah,
Almost.
you can say Simpsons go-to.
Some Burns Homer. Put it with Mountain of Madness.
Yeah.
The Loch Ness Monster one as well.
Yep.
Yeah, definitely. You get a bit of round-eyed Burns in this episode, and this is a phenomenon, I don't know if you've noticed it at home, where around this time, they softened Burns' image a bit and made him a bit nicer, and you'll notice that his eyes are rounder like all the other Simpsons characters, where as earlier in the show season he's got that really thin and like scouring look about him.
I think it's just episodes where he's a bit nicer, maybe. Or is it just constantly, even when he's being mean?
Yeah, I mean, even in this one he was trying to scold him, but he was still being nice about it.
Well, no, we're meant to like him more.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah, because we're taking a journey with Burns.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Kind of a Release the Hounds in that it doesn't happen.
Mhm.
Oh, yeah. The hounds are mentioned, though.
Yep.
Yeah, pair this with Homer the Smithers as well, because we see Burns' kitchen. And it's on model. It's the same as that
Yeah,
one.
yeah.
Yeah. I think he has an Aga as well. I wish I could have one, but the power consumption is ridiculous. They're like a particular type of stove, which are like always on and
yeah.
like very hard. And
Oh, okay.
yeah, they're pretty cool. I don't know. Mentions of suicide, like Homer's about to take a suicide pill.
Only bit I didn't like about the whole
No.
house tour.
Yeah, no.
Just a little too grave.
Yeah.
Mhm.
IRS, pair this with the Krusty Gets Audited episode. Yeah.
Okay, look, here's my contention with this episode. They can't figure out whether they're from the FBI or the IRS. In the van outside Moe's, it says two guys from Quantico,
Mhm.
which Quantico is the FBI headquarters.
Oh, okay. I didn't get this.
Then later on, it's like he says, like, I'm helping the FBI, right?
I thought that bit with the two chairs turn around, I thought that was the IRS handing him off to the FBI.
Ah.
But then the two guys are in the fighter jet again, which doesn't make sense,
Yep.
which has the IRS logo on
It's
it
true.
again. So it's like, I can't figure out who is he in trouble. Like, one, why would the FBI might be investigating the thing, but he's still with the IRS. So yeah, are they working together? But they don't mention that at all.
I imagine
it's
the
very
IRS
confusing.
and the FBI probably work together fairly closely.
Yeah.
I mean, it's how they took down Capone, so
Yeah.
Yeah.
pay your taxes, people.
Pay your taxes, pay your taxes, pay your motherfucking taxes. So, guest stars of this episode, we had Paul Winfield to return as Lucius Sweet,
Oh, yeah.
He had 2 seconds of lines.
Yeah.
and it wasn't good.
No.
And it was just there to lead into oh, help old Gil here. Put in a word for old Gil.
Gil doesn't have any money.
And again, it was sort of there to just sort of build up Homer's fear, but yeah, I didn't really like any of the material. Wow, I am coming into this conversation realizing I actually didn't like a lot of parts of this episode.
Oh, wait, another playlist. Ones where Charlie speaks.
Yeah, Charlie talking roles.
Yeah, those are rare.
Yeah, and apparently he's part of a militia that beats up politicians.
Yeah. Or kills them. Who knows?
Yeah.
Kidnaps them.
Who knows how high this goes?
All the way to the president.
Just like the damn government. So that was the only guest star, but musical moments in this episode.
See my vest?
That was in a different episode.
Oh, it was. Yeah, okay. I don't know. Shut up.
No, I don't think there were any music. I didn't have any semi-quavers.
See my investments? I'm going to shut up.
BT, what would you change about this episode?
Good question. Because it just kind of coasts along, but I don't know where.
It really does.
But I don't know where to like put in, other than, okay, maybe make it a bit more sense as to why they haven't gone into his house before. But then that doesn't really change the episode much. That just kind of makes a bit more sense.
Yeah.
Spend a bit longer in Cuba, maybe, but I don't know if that was the strongest place to stay. Yeah, other than add some laugh, and maybe explore a few different ideas, but there are things to tweak. I just don't know where to tweak them because nothing really stands out as a big, obvious slump. There was a better direction to go here kind of thing. It's just overall a bit, it gets by.
Yeah,
so,
fair enough. Jordan, what would you like to change about the episode?
I was thinking about how, what you could do differently. I was thinking about Burns could just be an Air Force pilot, maybe. Something like that, right? Who's taken it?
Well, yeah, I mean, at least they do show him flying the plane in the film. So
yeah, so like have it be, and maybe not $1 trillion because back then that would have been way more than the GDP.
Yeah.
But like maybe $1 billion.
Still a lot.
And the plane disappears, and there's a character that is very much like Monty Burns, and that's how he's kind of started his empire.
Yeah.
He like started up the power plant or something. Like that's how he kind of essentially was like built his career. I know that kind of would go against the plot where he grew up with a silver spoon in his mouth or whatever, but this was another way where he took out the real pilot and posed as him and then took the $1 billion and added it to his, just some reason for him to have it other than, it was frivolous government spending and then just not using it. And then it was, kind of was Chekhov's gun. Like it doesn't get, like it gets stolen, but it's the whole point of the episode, but it's not used. It's just there.
Sorry, just remind me. I did like the bit with Homer trying to put it into the vending machine.
Yeah.
Just like, no, god damn it, there's sodas on the plane.
And then just, there's a bit of relief when it comes back out. Like,
yeah.
So much change.
Hey, Elliot.
Yeah?
If you pulled a thorn out of the Pope's butt, and he gave you one wish, what would it be?
I'll definitely wear something ironed.
Yeah. Just I'd like to try
Can you
it.
imagine?
I can't.
No.
I mean, who can iron things?
You can afford an iron.
I did like that getting called back to the later on where Smithers is ironing his socks.
Oh.
I don't know if that was intentional or not, but I did like it.
Ironing playlist. Yeah, what I'd change about this episode, it's a tough one, isn't it? Because usually, especially in the case of the last episode we watched, I can point to the first act and go, look, so much time there that you can just carve out and cut out.
Yeah, or more interesting tangents they could have taken. And this one, even though it's not, flawless by any degree, I'm not sure what you'd tweak.
Yeah, it's just, everything is there for its reason. It's just not the best reason.
More raisins. I mean reasons.
More bran. He needs more bran.
All the bran.
Yes.
He has a lot of bran.
Yeah, in like big boxes as well.
I do like starting the search by looking through his kitchen drawers.
Yeah. And he's like frustrated. It's not there. He's like, come on,
Yeah,
where
like
is it?
a drawer and a cupboard into his search.
Hey, last place you would think.
He does. I was kind of expecting it to be in that cookie jar, though. I got to be honest.
Yeah, maybe just an idea. Maybe why does Cuba even need to be involved? Like, can't they just go on an American chase? And so I don't know where I'd start changing things. But BT, do you have any other notes?
If it's a crime to bribe a jury, I'll soon be guilty of that.
God bless America.
I like that little final speech from Burns. It was pretty good.
Yeah, with a dun 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 dun.
Hey.
And you've pulled the elastic over your notebook. It is closed for the evening.
Closed.
Drop that notebook, yo.
Yep.
Jordan, do you have any more notes?
Yes. When the ball doesn't descend and Homer's like, will this horrible year never end?
Yeah.
I thought, doesn't that kind of describe 2017? And I thought, wait, it also kind of describes 2016 when all of the best celebrities died.
Yep.
But 2017 for just all the awful things that happened. And then this year has not gotten off to the best start either. So, I feel that a lot.
We're in a bit of a run.
The Simpsons Index, here for you during all the awful times.
Is this what being in your 30s is? Like, just complaining about, I want to get off. Anyway.
I'm done with this merry-go-round.
Yeah. The sign underneath the arch of the legal house? The courthouse. That's
Sure.
the one.
The law talking house.
Yes. Liberty and justice for most.
Oh.
Accurate.
Yeah. And then it burns to the ground. I had to look this up because I'm like, I know this reference, but I can't think of it. Oh, but Mr. Burns, he hasn't fired me even though we've suffered through 3 meltdowns and a China syndrome. China syndrome is a movie about a meltdown.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
On
and
3
it's
Mile
got
Island, I
Michael
think.
Douglas, and I think it's a fictional one, but it's probably based on that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Mr. Burns asks us about Batista, who was the
Leader that Cuba Castro overthrew.
Yeah.
Oh,
And
okay.
it's like, what do you mean he's not in charge anymore? There's a poster that they drive past that says El Duffo o Muerte, which is basically...
with Che Guevara on it?
Yeah, it's like Duff or Death.
Oh, yeah.
Very fine. And also they're like, no, they'll welcome me with open arms. They've named a street in San Francisco for me. And they're like, it's full of what? Because Castro is the big gay area.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Yeah. Great, though. Like, we went for brunch there, and not because it was just late and we wanted breakfast, but it's really cool. It's very open and
And if the gay stereotype is accurate, that's just brunch everywhere.
Yeah.
I think every meal you have in San Francisco is brunch, actually.
Yeah.
Yeah, they really did have the...
But it's 11 p.m. Still brunch.
Yeah, that's San Fran saying it's 11 p.m. somewhere.
Yeah.
Mimosas. No, shout out to San Fran. I fucking love San Francisco. It's the coolest
It was nice.
place where we discovered the such restaurants as Tuckeritas.
Yeah.
It was good.
We had I think I had one of the best Japanese fusion meals I've ever had. Delicious. Like a liter of beer in a can.
It's a big can.
Yeah, it was a huge can. Anyway.
God bless huge cans.
Okay, time for rapid speedy note time.
Speedy.
I've actually got a lot this time. I like how Skinner tries to cut into the line.
Oh, hi, Edna. It's like, nope, unless you're willing to
File jointly.
Yeah.
Back of the line, Seymour. Good on you, Edna, as well.
Yep.
Stand up for your rights.
And I liked this joke, but I thought they overstepped it with Lenny doing his taxes on Frink's back, and he's goes, no, you didn't carry the one.
Yeah.
But then he launches into his whole voivy, havey.
You'll incur the wrath of the,
Yeah, it would have been just better if it
And
was
the
just
truncheons, he says, or something?
the
It's like,
truncheons.
all right.
What are truncheons?
Another name for a dick. No, it's not true. It's a big stick. It's a big beaten stick. Police have
You
truncheons.
know, a nightstick. Another name for a nightstick would be a truncheon, but one without that extra side handle.
Working on my nightstick.
Name your sex
For a
tape.
song that is about fucking, you just made it weirder.
Working on my night cheese.
Have you got a
please
slank
stop.
somewhere to be filling with your farts?
I love how in the report, Kenneth Brockman goes, it's the 11 hour at 10 p.m.
Yeah.
That's really funny.
Literally the 11th hour.
And when Lisa realizes that Homer didn't do his taxes this year and goes, Dad, and then Homer's so patronizing, did you see something scary in your picture book?
Yeah. She is 8. Come on.
That's true, but Homer's being such a dick.
Yeah.
And then when he's trying to get the people at Moe's Bar to confess to crimes, and they're like, oh, that time you made moonshine in your basement? Or,
All that time you beat up former President Bush.
oh, yeah.
Oh, right.
No, I
you
want
mean-
your crime.
Yeah, he said, no, the time Barney beat up him, he goes, hey, that was me, and
Yeah.
I'd do it again. Yeah.
I really hate how Homer sees the $1 trillion bill and goes, ooh, that's a spicy meatball.
That was
Yeah.
weird, yeah.
Like, just so out of place. And sorry, I keep dropping my pen.
You do.
Come here, Penny.
Working on your pen moves.
This message will self-destruct if not properly stored.
Yeah.
As a classic Inspector Gadget fan, this tickled me nicely.
So more of a...
Or Mission Impossible.
Yeah.
Mission Impossible, was it?
The TV show.
yeah.
Oh, okay, fair enough.
And then the movies did it too.
And yeah, when he does see the $1 trillion as well, wow, that must be worth a fortune.
You know what? You think about it though. $1 trillion, we really have no concept of. Like, I can't think what $1 trillion means to me, like how big it is. Really, there's this thing about like if you're in a room with millions and squillions of $1 bills, and you get to keep as many as you can sign. And it was talking about like if you did one a second every second, it would take like some unimaginable amount of time to get to like $1 billion or something like that.
1 billion seconds?
Well, yeah, but you think about like how many years that is. It's like tens of thousands of years probably. Like you will die long before you ever get to like 1 billion or something.
It's 31 years. So if any of our listeners find themselves a billionaire, do not waste your time signing all your $1 bills.
I don't think there's that many.
Just sign a bunch of $100 bills. You'll save yourself a lot of time. Yeah.
100 seconds, in fact.
Per bill. And yeah, when the FBI the IRS go to take Burnsy away, and she's like, "Oh, my reporter friend won't be silent," and Homer's like, "I'm going to write the best darn article." Oh,
wait a minute.
And Police Chief Wiggum, that was awesome. He gets the call out on his radio about Burns' car, about the maroon buggy, and he's like, more like a burgundy.
Yeah.
And my final note, and it's an eye-rolly one, where Castro says, "I caramba."
Yeah.
Bit of a shame. What a note to go out on. It's time to rank this thing.
Whoa, getting the energy up because I'm running low.
Yep.
Jordan, kick us off.
I'm going to go bronze. I would watch it again, but I'd probably suck it in by that first 5 minutes going, oh, yeah, this is good, this bit. And going, where does this go from here again? I'm already here.
Yeah.
It's funny, Simpsons Hide is on this disc as well. And it kind of reminds me of that in that there's like some promise there. I just don't know exactly what you'd change about it. But it's got a few laughs, but overall it's just kind of makes you go...
Things that make you go...
Yeah.
So bronze, it's that kind of feeling for me.
All right, BT, you're next.
I'm much on the same boat. I feel like I don't really know what I would change about this one, but it's an all right ride, and if I'll start watching it, I'll probably keep it up. So, yeah, I will also go with a bronze.
All right, I'm just trying to search my feelings to find if I've got silver in me because, like I said, there's a lot of iconic moments in this episode where, like if I'm saying to my friend, oh, we covered Trouble with Trillions on the podcast recently.
And they go, oh, which is that one?
Oh, the taxes one, and they go to Cuba, and, you could pull a lot of funny one-liners from it. It's just...
Homer says Maggie is 7 people.
Yeah.
That actually adds up because they said we've got 9 children.
Yeah.
Like in the thing. Yeah.
Oh, he throws his tax ball, it kind of bounces around like 8 times and then falls in.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then it goes in the severe audit bin just by virtue of being a giant lump of paper and sticky tape. Yeah, look, I honestly would like to see it averaged up, but I don't have silver in me personally. I feel like I'm letting this episode down, but...
It let you down first.
It let me down, and...
Yeah.
That's still good. I mean, a bronze is still good, and this will be a unanimous bronze, and it'll be joining other unanimous bronzes, such as Homer's Night Out with the which they sang in The Scorpion's Tale. I forgot to mention that.
Yeah, they did for no reason.
When You Dish Upon a Star, which we also covered and mentioned earlier. Take My Wife's Sleaze, the motorcycle one.
I feel like this is on par with that one, yeah.
Yeah. Dude, Where's My Ranch, where they go to the Dude Ranch. Ice Cream of Margie with the light blue hair. Smoke on the Daughter. Squirtin' the Whale. Great Simpsina. Yeah, I actually feel better about ranking at bronze now because this feels on par with all of those. Yeah.
I agree.
So that about does it for tonight. Jordan, thank you for coming all the way out here tonight.
Oh, it's my pleasure. And it's your pleasure.
And
listener.
Beej, you travelled through snow, you travelled through hail, and...
Then I woke up and travelled down here.
Thanks for joining, man.
It's all right. It's all right.
All right, and I am your host, Elliot Jay O'Neill. Hit us up on Twitter at Simpsons Index, Facebook.com/The Simpsons Index. That's all the mustard in the house!
I like wearing a hot dog.
Hit us up on Twitter at Simpsons Index and Facebook.com/The Simpsons Index. That, my friends, is all the mustard in the house.
Don't search for any more mustard.
Thank you for checking out the Simpsons Index podcast. Don't forget to go to www.thesimpsonsindex.com for the spreadsheet and information about upcoming episodes.
And for today's extra content...
Did we mention that they pulled 4 tires out of nowhere?
Yeah.
Yeah. Sorry, I thought we did.
And had like the pneumatic drills to like take them out and everything with no discernible cables.
Yeah.
Just come on, old people.
All right.
Gross, Speech.
All right.
God damn you.
Well, I'm not hungry anymore. But ultimately, guys, do you think it felt like... I cannot keep doing that. So, musical moments of this episode.
Was there music in the porno?
Wow.
Had like a Tom Morello riff before.
A little bit.
Yeah.
Go with it now.
Okay, there's a fun game. Rage Against the Machine titles that are also porn parodies, like Balls on Parade.
Ooh.
It's tough, I'm not going to lie.
Come like a bomb.
Nice.
Bum track? I don't know.
Hey.
It's fine. What are you talking about?
Know your enema.
Hey. Yeah, it's a niche film.
Very.
Yeah, very.
Renegades of fuck.
Here we go.
Sweet. All right, I've picked, but we'll be peppering out the conversation with more Rage Against the Machine porno titles.
Yep.
Oh wow.
Sleep now in the wet spot.
Why did I write the note? You can't save spit. Can't save
I mean,
spit.
you can't.
You can.
You
can.
You shouldn't.
Just for grand larceny. As though the word grand adds. As though the word grand. Fucking cock.
Boobs on Parade.
Boobs on Parade.
Yeah, another Rage Against the Machine porno.
I had balls on parade, but I like yours better.
Yeah.
Boobs on Parade. Why does Carl have a foghorn leghorn tattoo?
You can say, you want to see the huge cock that goes down my thigh? Sorry, officer, I don't consent to searches.
Yeah, I didn't ask.
Oh.
So, guys,
Beginning
play
of a gay
count.
porn film. Sorry.
That's okay. Speaking of...
Sorry for what?
Take it, power bottom. Nope. Okay, sorry. Forget it.
Oh,
Sorry. That's not what I was going to say. It was, but it's not.
testicles.
No
Yeah.
testicle.
And they're right outside the door. They're testicles.
Suck it now.
Just a side note, did you polish your toenails?
Yes.
They're very shiny. Okay.
Yeah. They're very shiny.
Like professionally, or you do it yourself?
Yeah, no, that one was a professional job because
Nice.
I'm like, I want to treat myself.
Yeah. Hey.
Man.
You feel better?
I had the nails done too, but they all peeled off because my nails are soft as shit.
Ah, fascinating.
Anyway.
How does Homer know that saving a flock of manatees, maybe a pod of manatees, will actually impress her or do anything? Like
It's a herd of manatees.
a herd.
Oh, yeah, because they're sea cows.
Ah, that's right, because they call cows land manatees.
I know I do.
Yeah. Earth manatees. Yeah.
Sorry.
Want to go to Manatee Burger later?
They are very fatty. Very bad for you. Have one a month.
Steamed manatee?
All right, guys, that's it for episode 78 of the Simpsons Index.
Yes. Oh, but not before I can give you I just realized a Rage Against the Machine song title that is already a porn title.
Oh,
Nice.
here
What
we
do you got?
go.
Fistful of Steel.
Oh, I had a dick check, porn of a broken man.
Port of a broken man.
That's good.
But not a broken man.
That's gotta be so sad.
Wow, what about pistol grip pump?
Oh, yeah.
That's just already there.